What's up, everybody? My name is Brad and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back with another book review for you guys, and I'm going to be discussing What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is her newest novella. It just came out earlier in the week from Tor Nightfire, and just right off the bat, the cover is absolutely stunning. I love the cover on this, and if this cover does not make you want to pick it up and read this book, then I don't know what kind of cover is going to do it. This is one of the best covers I've seen on a book in quite a long time. I don't know what it is about it, but it's absolutely stunning. I love the cover on here. To sort of go along with the cover, there's this hair on there. When I say hair, I don't mean hair on your head, but bunny rabbit's little cousin, the hare. So have you ever sat down and thought to yourself, you know what, those hares, they're kind of creepy little critters, aren't they? Have you done that? No, me neither. I've never done that. But then I read this novella, What Moves the Dead. I think T. Kingfisher, she has swayed me into believing that yes, these beady-eyed, unblinking little creatures are quite unsettling after all. In the book, when we see them, they just sort of sit and stare dumbfoundedly at the characters. And it sort of reminded me of one of my dogs will do that. They'll sit over in the corner perfectly still like a statue and just stare at you. It's like they're peering into your soul. And that can be really creepy at night when they're over in the corner and all the lights are off, we're watching a movie or whatever, and all you can see is the light from the TV reflecting in their eyes just off in the corner. So I had that sort of familiar experience dealing with that from my dog being sort of unsettling and reading about these hares that just sort of sit statuesque and just stare. And then more of them come and they're all just sort of surrounding you and staring. They are creepy little unsettling creatures for sure. What Moves the Dead? This is T. Kingfisher's retelling, reimagining, whatever you'd like to call it, of Edgar Allan Poe's classic story, The Fall of the House of Usher, wherein the author is able to simultaneously show reverence for the original source material from Edgar Allan Poe while also expanding upon that foundation and, dare I say, expanding upon the horror as well. I found this one way more horrific than Poe's story. That might be blasphemous, but that's how I felt about it, all while able to make it her own story and tell a story in her own voice. She's able to insert hair-raisingly eerie hairs. I know that's horrible. I'm sorry, I could not resist. There's weird fungal infestations and stinking mushrooms galore to be found here. Oh, and did I mention that there's also a character based off of the popular children's author Beatrix Potter? Yes, this novella basically has it all. And my introduction to Poe just happened to coincidentally be reading The Fall of the House of Usher for the very first time at the beginning of last year. And I know I'm late to the party and I'm in my mid-30s, and I just now fairly recently read Poe for the very first time. But I still remember that sort of brooding sense of doom and gloom that Poe's words evoked within me the first time my mind's eye laid eyes upon the House of Usher. And I want to read just the opening paragraph to Poe's story, just so you can get a sense of the atmosphere and everything that is going on with that story. During the whole of a dull, dark, and soundless day in the autumn of the year, when the clouds hung oppressively low in the heavens, I had been passing alone, on horseback, through a singularly dreary tract of country, and at length found myself, as the shades of the evening drew on, within view of the melancholy House of Usher. I know not how it was, but, with the first glimpse of the building, a sense of insufferable gloom pervaded my spirit. Kingfisher's writing is able to capture that same palpable feeling of despair, this ever-growing sensation of things being slightly off-kilter with Roderick, Madeline, and the entire Usher estate, the same way Poe's writing was able to evoke those same emotions. And in this story, we're following a brand new character that Kingfisher has created that was not in the original tale, and it's through the perspective of ex-soldier Alex Easton, whose arrival at House Usher was prompted by an urgent summons from their childhood friend, that we are confronted with the shocking and ghastly visage of Madeline Usher, who looks to be just a stone's throw away from death's door. And as Alex spends sleepless night after sleepless night within the ruined confines of the manor, they slowly start to unravel this horrific and sinister mystery that is all behind the malady that is inflicting not only Madeline, but in turn her brother Roderick as well. So you may be asking yourself if you need to read The Fall of the House of Usher before reading What Moves the Dead, and the answer to that is absolutely no, you do not need to do so. This story, it stands completely on its own. You do not need to have any prior knowledge whatsoever of the original tale or its contents or the story arc or characters or any of that stuff. This is a complete reimagining, retelling, and it stands solely on its own. But having said that, should you read The Fall of the House of Usher? And for that, I say yes, I suggest you do so. For me personally, I feel like it added an extra layer of enjoyment to the story for the added nuance and depth and embellishment that T. Kingfisher was able to inject into this retelling, this reimagining. I think I had a greater appreciation for the story after having read The Fall of the House of Usher than I would have otherwise. But again, you don't need to do so. It is a complete standalone. But I do suggest you read it because I think you will get more out of the story having read the original source material. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher is an insidious gothic delight crawling with delectable grotesqueries, a classic retelling for a modern audience, elaborating upon the seemingly purposeful vagueness of Poe's original tale, all while finally uncovering the truth of what moves the dead. And I say a classic retelling for a modern audience because myself, I'm not big on classics, but if you want a classic story feel told in the sort of modern language, then this is definitely a story for you. This is my first read ever by T. Kingfisher, but it will not be my last. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I have The Hollow Places and The Twisted Ones, I believe is their other one, on Kindle. I'll definitely be checking those out soon. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you like gothic stories with some fungal horror mixed in, some body horror and stuff like that, this is definitely one you should check out. I ended up giving What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher 4 stars. I had a lot of fun with it. But that's it. That's been my review of What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. That's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.